love to touch on something that was profound for me in reading this book. It really developed my connection with nature to another level. Like, I couldn't help it. The disease talked about it again and again, how powerful nature actually is. And they actually say that if you knew the strength and the healing energy that existed within the earth, you probably wouldn't spend as much time looking to the sky. And then they say there's crystalline structures in there, there's elements. And then they also, the part that I found mind-blowing was when the disease were asked, where have they been between books? They said that they hang out by the crystalline structures, and those structures actually charge them up, and then they charge those structures up. I was just like, wow. So could you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, apparently a lot of us, when we leave, this life, this body, we will choose to still be a part of the earth, but maybe not incarnate. So there are souls who lose the identity of the form, but will stay working with the energy of the earth. And many of us have been doing that in between incarnations. It's interesting. I'm going to show you here. This is a labradorite crystal. So I started channeling the Z's 23 years ago. I was 23. I was a student of metaphysics and personal development since I was about 15, 16. But I never thought twice about crystals. I thought they looked nice. You go into the store, oh yeah, loads of crystals. Oh, people are really into them. Okay, whatever. Soon as I started channeling, boom, something about, like, they drew me. And that's the crystal I got when I was 24. So it's the one I've had the longest. And I asked the Z's, I said, why am I holding crystals when I talk to you? They said, you don't need to, but it helps you calibrate to our frequency, because crystalline frequency is how we actually enter the earth and enter this communication field with you and this energy field with you. So I also loved that part of the book, because I learn I learn stuff all the time. Like, there's things that come out in these books that are universal, and sometimes they talk about our personal relationship, and I've never heard that stuff before, because those questions haven't been asked and I'm not asking them. So when Diana throws these questions at them, it's very interesting. Why I love what you just framed in the question about we're always looking up at the sky, and instead the power of within the earth is really important. They have been saying that for 23 years. And when I first heard them talk about it, I was like, I understood the stars and the ethers and the heaven. Like, that's kind of what I understood, or had been trained to understand. And they have always maintained that the consciousness is rising from within the earth. It's not that it's descending upon us. It's that the center of the earth is, they often say, getting hotter energetically. And the crystalline presence inside the earth, and apparently they've been there for a long time, and some of them were put there and some of them have been waiting to activate. And I'm not an expert on that stuff, but therefore the fact that they always talk about it piques my interest. So they say the amount of energy running through the ground is huge. And the thing they say about nature that I'm glad you brought up is, just imagine you're having a really tough day. You've let yourself get overstimulated, or your life has overstimulated you. Either you've spent too much time on the computer, or there's a lot of stress at home, and you can't quite just get you feel a bit like, oh God, I feel bombarded by life and I can tell I'm off. They always say, go outside. Or if you're in an apartment, look out the window if that's all you can do. Or if you have a balcony, do that. Go to your park. If you have a yard, go to your yard. Just go outside. And they say that you will neutralize, because the more you create a new environment for yourself that is dominantly nature, in much the same way that water will break our electrical energy field, a shower or a bath or being in a body of water will reset you electrically, so too can nature do that. It actually resets our nervous system, and even when we aren't aware of it, we start to lean into the rhythm and the heartbeat of nature, rather than the rhythm and the heartbeat of technology, all the human emotions, the stress that our nervous system is pumping through us as our response to what we're in. So they've been talking about that since the beginning, and it's been interesting for me as a human being to come to understand that more experientially. Like now I really get it when because I experience it, but when they first started talking about it, it was like, oh, maybe I should go outside, you know? Yeah. And I, you know, also when I first started hearing from them, my ability to manage my own stress was not what it is now, of course.